This is the rack pull. All right, so rack pull is effectively a deadlift, except we are elevating the height of the barbell so that we can work on keeping a vertical shin and shifting this more in our posterior chain. Obviously, if we're going for powerlifting or more strength-related endeavors, this can also be used to just strengthen the lockout portion of the pull. But for the purposes of what we're doing with a rack pull, we want the bar to be set up so that it is just below your kneecap, okay? And we also want to make sure that we are we're gonna show you here how to set up a proper hinge, but making sure that this is a hinge, okay? And we're not just squatting with our hands in the bar away from us. So the way it's gonna look is this. It's actually very easy to set up and execute, although butchered very often. So I'm gonna first of all work with a shoulder width stance, always. I don't wanna be wide, I want my toes forward, and I want my hands to come just outside my shin, so I don't want my hands wide either. All that's gonna do is lengthen the range of motion we have to travel. All right, so I'm gonna line up so I make sure that I'm on the bar. That's very important. We don't wanna line up off the bar. For this movement, I want you to line up so that your shins are touching the bar, okay? From there, anyone that's trained with me, if we're doing this movement, we've trained the touch the wall drill, okay? So we're gonna use the touch the wall drill to get into place, and then all we have to do is pull. So you're gonna see me here as I set up with the shins on the bar. I'm gonna go touch the wall, and as I come back into my hinge, I'm gonna exhale. That's gonna set me up to where as soon as I grab the bar, I don't have to waste time and tension, and I'm just gonna get my inhale, get my small inhale, brace, okay? And then I'm just gonna think about, even though this is a pull, I wanna think about driving through my heels to stand up. So I'm gonna be pushing my heels through the floor, even though technically this is considered a pull, all right? So it's gonna look like this. Touch the wall. That's not the way, touch the wall. Okay, grab the bar, get my inhale. Stand up. Bar travels, slides back down my thighs as this weight gets heavier. We're gonna make sure this is a basically controlled drop. I don't want to exaggerate an RDL. We're just going to slide it back down our thighs in a controlled drop. So the positive is a explosive push, and then it's just a controlled fall, and you're in position to pull again. One more thing you'll see is as I set up for my touch the wall drill, you'll see that my eyes go, and we talk about this in the touch the wall drill, where my hinge goes. So I should be looking down in front of me a little bit with a neutral neck. Whenever we cock our head up and try to look forward, we're just going to drive too much extension in our pull, okay? So move this out of the way. All right, I'll show you a couple reps here. So we get my touch the wall. Exhale, grab on. Again. One more. Slide back to control drop every time. This is the rack pull.